I have a few. Be 9 years old, summertime, be outside in the backyard, see my grandfather through one of the bathroom windows. He is standing there looking at me, confused because grandfather lives far from us. We only see him once a year at Christmas. Run inside, mom's washing dishes. I ask, where's grandpa? Long story short, it's just me and mom in the house, no one else. Later that day, we find out grandpa passed away. Mom later said it spooked her because I must have seen her dad's ghost in the house, but she figured he must have been checking on us before he crossed over. Another, be around 13 years old, helping dad move stuff into the attic. We have a drop-down ladder. I'm at the bottom, passing things up to dad. He goes, "What the hell?" A long pause. Scrambling, dad rushes down the stairs, pops the drop-down ladder up, closing the attic. "What happened, Dad?" Nothing. Years later, he told me he saw something. A thick shadow, solid black. Stopped to watch it as it moved along the far wall and noticed he heard footsteps like dress shoes wherever the shadow moved. Nope the fuck out of there. Crazy part was when I was younger, I used to hear thumping sounds in the attic that woke me up at night, but my parents claimed never to hear it. Hey y'all, let's share your personal encounters with paranormal. I know this is the internet and X, but as much as possible, please post your first-hand stories. Was in 4th grade, moved to a new house 1 year ago. Heard mom doing dishes almost every night. One night, I couldn't sleep. Heard the dishes again, so I decided to go to the kitchen and talk to mom. Approach kitchen, lights are off, but I hear the sink running. Enter, no one is there, and the sink turns off in front of me. Book it back to my room and hide under the covers. Never tell anyone about this for years. In high school, we moved to a new house. For some reason, I finally tell my mom the story and ask if she ever heard the sink. She says she heard it all the time, but never talked to me and my sister about it because she didn't want to scare us. Mom thinks it was the previous tenant's ghost, old lady who passed away in the house. Another family-related ghost story. Apparently, I told my mom that grandpa was talking too much and I wanted her to tell him to let me go to sleep. And grandpa had passed away earlier that morning. Happened when I was very small and I don't have a personal memory of it, but when we talked about the sink ghost, she told me this story too. I think I had an experience with a ghost, but I didn't see one. Me and my wife were sleeping in a hotel in Vietnam. Before we went to bed to fuck, waifu had some fruit we bought in a supermarket. She didn't finish everything, so there was still some left in a plastic bag on the table. In the middle of the night, I heard the plastic bag making a sound as if someone was going through it. My first thought was someone got into our room and was going through our shit. I turned on the light and quickly got out of bed. No one except for me and my wife were in the room. I checked the bathroom and locked on the door. Nothing abnormal. I checked the bag with fruit in that area. No insects or lizards, nothing. It was a 4-star hotel in the center of city, so I'd be surprised if some shit like that was in the room. So I went back to bed and turned off the light. Literally, the second I turned off the light, the sound of someone going through the plastic bag immediately started again. So I let it go on for some time, carefully listening, but I had enough as it was going on for a long time and I didn't hear anything else besides the bag. The second I turned on the light, the sound stopped. I told my wife about it. We both looked around and went to bed. Didn't happen again. I'm convinced it was a ghost of someone that just liked the fruit when he or she was alive, I guess. A mild occurrence, but this one's also become sort of an inside joke amongst members of my family. About 2 years ago, my mom, sister, and stepdad moved into a different house in a different town, and a year later I joined them and started living here. Now, the peculiar thing about this particular apartment is the fact that an old lady used to live here all by herself and apparently also died inside this very house, presumably in what used to be her living room, which is now my bedroom. Wonderful. So one night, I randomly woke up, this happens quite often, mind you, and decided to move to the left side of my large double bed. A few seconds later, I could swear I started feeling as if someone was pushing their hand against the top side of my pillow, as my head was starting to kind of sink against the wooden railing. I got up immediately and couldn't go back to sleep as I was too frightened. I have no idea what happened that night, if it was all a product of my vast imagination or something odd had actually occurred. But from that night on, I never slept on the left side of the bed again, and I started referring to it as the ghost's side. My little sister had an imaginary friend, I hope it was at least, and it honestly felt like a cheap horror movie. Be my little sister. Be around 4 years old. Have a friend no one else can see. Friend is a tall woman with black hair. Friend has no name. Friend only appears at grandma's house. Friend constantly tries to convince you to go for a walk in the woods with just her. Friend tells you she doesn't like your mommy. Friend doesn't let you go to sleep at night. One day, friend gets in the car with you. She wants to be with you all the time, not only when you visit grandma. Friend now lives with you. Your mom tells you you're too old for an imaginary friend. Tell friend what mom said. Friend gets mad, pushes you off bunk bed, refuses to elaborate, leaves. Kid legit fell off her bed right in front of me, but not like stumble and fall kind of way, more like stand up and visibly get shoved really hard in the chest kind of way. To this day, I have no idea what it could be, if anything at all. I'd say a ghost, but ghosts are tied to a specific place and can't just travel to a new location. Posting OC, story comes from a friend of mine. Be my friend. 11 or 12 at the time. Fucked up childhood. Won't get into the specifics. Drugs are involved with the parents. Live in the deep south in an RA home given the circumstances. One day, his parents leave to do some errands or something. There's a big table in the living room that has a removable glass section in the middle. It's a long rectangular sheet of glass. My friend would like to lay on his back and leg press the glass out when he is bored sometimes. It was heavy as shit and was very difficult to get to budge for someone of his adolescent strength. Makes a very distinct sound too when he does this. Anyways, my friend is chilling in his room with the door shut. Suddenly hears that all too familiar sound of the table glass moving. I need to stress here that it's impossible to ever move any part of that table by chance. The fucker is incredibly solid and sturdy. But here is the sound of the glass being pushed up, clear as day. Slam! Loud as fuck crash echoes throughout the house. The table glass was raising up high, higher than my friend could ever press it up, and it just violently fell back into the slot. Friend scared shitless. There is nobody else home with him. He has a knife in his room that he holds on purely for comfort. Waits by the door in his room for what seems like forever, too scared to get out into the living room to check it out. Tries to make out any reflections or details from underneath the door, but even this was utterly terrifying to do for him. Parents come back after what seems like hours, tells his mom begrudgingly what happened. He was embarrassed and doubly scared and doubting himself it was real. She believed him, but at the same time brushed it off and gave a corny explanation for it. It was angels fighting demons or something of that nature. She was probably interested in her next high. There's another story I'll tell after this, reaching the limit for text. Probably when I had a dream of a future event, I heard of deja vu being explained by a miswiring of the brain, but this was more. I vividly remember waking up and thinking it was a strange dream. It was mundane, and I thought about how it actually couldn't happen since it involved others and their places at that time wouldn't allow it. Fast forward a few months, it fucking happens. Events had transpired that allowed it. Again, very mundane, and I also don't think I could have prevented it if I wanted to. It kind of broke my brain a little bit, but now I don't think about it at all. I don't tell anyone about it. There was also the time I was haunted by a wet ghost, I think. Live in an apartment next to graveyard. Lived there for months without incident. One day, wake up and mysterious wet spot on table. Weird. Must have spilled water. More wet spots gradually appear. Spots appear under objects where nothing else is wet, not even top of object. Something in the middle of a sack of objects will be soaked. Objects touching are only residual. Doesn't happen during rain. No visible leaks at all. Accumulates when in my bottom mattress being soaking wet. Top mattress bone dry. Last bit really freaked me out. I've pissed the bed before. This was not that. I was bone dry too. It did go away after that. Maybe thanks to a dream? That apartment was a little freaky. My roommate admitted to hearing things when we moved out. New apartment. A couple months after being settled in, I hear a thud on my sliding glass door. Nothing happens for a while, so I think nothing of it. Another month passes and I hear a thump from my sliding door again. Look over and looks like someone's at my door. Turn on the light and investigate. Nothing. Again. Not really bothered and brush it off. Several months go by. My smoke alarm will go off periodically at inconvenient hours. This goes on every so often, or a couple of weeks until I confront my apartment manager. Turns out my apartment was remodeled before a severe fire. The tenant left her kid home alone and the kid died trying to get out. Shows me the aftermath photos. The kid's body was melted, imprinted to the sliding glass door. Nope. Live in an extremely old house. 3 stories including the attic. No one ever goes into the attic. Hasn't been opened in about 10 years. I sleep in a room that is under the end of the attic. Every night I would hear thumps coming from upstairs, like someone was walking around or stomping. They were muffled, but I could hear them. Never think much of it. Figures that a heater kicking on or something until a few years pass. We took all the carpet out of the attic, so it was bare wood floors. While it was open, I decided to go up and check out what's over my room. There was a noticeable indentation over the portion of the carpet that was above my room. It's in the shape of 2 half circles that comes to points and about the size of my hand. It's after they ripped the carpet up and revealed the flooring that's over my room, we found a ritual circle, pentagram with over 80 symbols surrounding it, all carved into the wood, and dried blood and candle wax on each one. Now, I'm really freaked out. All those years I've been hearing an actual thing stomp. After a few nights, the thumps came back. This time, instead of muffled thumps, it was obvious. Something hard was banging on the wood floor. Sounds like hooves clopping on a patio. After the removed the ritual circle, they stopped for good. Still wonder what would have happened if I actually went upstairs during the stomps. Beamy had a dream in which I summoned a demoness. She wasn't happy about it. She pointed her finger at me, and as she lowered it, I felt a tremendous force, which pushed me down and made me kneel before her. She came closer and touched my forehead with her finger. I could feel she was able to read my every thought. She knew absolutely everything about me now. She learned about my giantess fetish as well. She smiled and told me that she will let me experience it to the fullest extent. She shrunk me to about 4 inches and grabbed me in her hands. She looked at me in a grin on her face and forced me into her pussy. She used me as a dildo until she orgasmed hard. Then she pushed me all the way deep inside her and shrunk me to the size of a grain of sand. I don't want to die, I thought to myself. You won't, I heard her voice in my head. You will become a part of me. I heard her laugh cruelly somewhere above me. I felt so vulnerable and powerless. Then she started to shrink me even more. I woke up. I have this dream. In a factory, typical wacky dream shit going on. Go through the back door of the factory. Walk out into a sort of Disney cartoon. A bit like on Who Framed Roger Rabbit when Valiant is in Cartoon Town. Don't like it. Has a weird sort of opera chorus kind of music going on in the background. But it's really foreboding and eerie. Whole place feels foreboding and eerie. Start panicking. See phone booth. Use phone booth. Call myself to come rescue myself. Wake up sweating. Time to get up anyways. Go downstairs. See I have message on answering machine. Play message. It's the same music from the dream and someone talking, but you can't make out what's being said. Message was received just before I woke up. Maybe I called my house phone with my mobile while I was sleeping, like some kind of muscle memory thing, although that wouldn't explain the background music. Remember, my mobile was downstairs charging the whole night anyway. Link related, it's the voicemail. TLDR, I called myself from a dream, I think. And here is me, 8 or 9 maybe. Pretty modern house by all accounts, not spooky. Occasionally hear a man say hello when upstairs playing. A deep voice stretching the vowels, hello. Something old about the voice, almost strained. Always very clear, but never anyone around. Shrug it off. Maybe I can hear a neighbor outside, or it's my imagination. Rational on reflection, as modern me would be spooked. One night, I'm in bed, looking down the hallway at my parents' doorway. A hand creeps around the frame and waves to me. Both parents are downstairs. Nope out, start screaming. Mom comes upstairs and tell her. Looks around and nothing there. Tells me it must be a nightmare. I don't think so. Creeped out now. A short while later, parents are at home, but both outside. Little sister, 5 or 6, and I are playing at the top of the stairs. Hello. I look at my sister. She clearly heard it too. Did you hear that? I asked. I hear it all the time. We both hear a loud laugh, the same voice of a strained old man, but there is something wicked now, malicious. We both scream, run downstairs, down the hall, out the yard, upstairs to the road. Both parents are washing the car. No one else is around. Burst in tears. We move shortly after. My sister and I vividly remember this day still, almost 30 years later. This is a true story, so sorry if it's not exciting enough. This is about something me and my brother call the Radio Man. My grandparents lived down in this big lake community in Florida, and my family would go visit them during breaks. Anyways, my brother and I would always just go out and explore the woods and shit. They always warned us about snakes and alligators and shit, but they knew and trusted all the people that lived there. So one day, we were just clambering through the swamp trees, and we hear someone talking over through some trees, and we go to investigate. There was a man in a big coat hunched over in a clearing, talking to himself. But he talked funny. His voice kept jumping to different inflections and accents as he talked. When we talked about it later, my brother said it reminded him of when you scan through a bunch of radio stations and only get a few words from each, almost like a big weird sentence, hence the name Radio Man. The guy heard us or something because he turned and looked right at us, and he was all fucked up. The best way I can describe his face is a lizard face that got put through a blender. And he started walking towards us saying, hello, 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 in this creepy ass voice. As we just fucking booked it, we were far as fuck from home, so we just ran together for like 5 or 10 minutes, then hid in a big bush that you couldn't see through. But even though we hid, we were excited and scared, and were basically yelling at each other like idiots, saying shit like, "What was that?" We were only in the bush for like a minute before it happened. The thing started fucking climbing into the bush with us. It wasn't even saying anything. It was just softly moaning and grunting with the same weird fucking voice. We shit ourselves and start screaming, and both just shot out the bush and literally ran as fast as we could all the way back home. Our grandparents and parents, to this day, they think we were full of shit. Looking back on it, it probably some sort of deformed, retarded guy who didn't know any better. My brother suggested once that maybe it was a guy who got shot in the face and it fucked up his brain, which would make sense, but who fucking knows, right? It was still fucking horrible. We never went adventuring through those woods again. I still wouldn't. Fuck that shit. Be very young, 5 or 6, on a family vacation across the pond to England, taking a tour of some old medieval ruins. Wander off to, I don't know, do toddler stuff. Come across an ancient well with a heavily rusted metal grate covering the opening, a couple of rusted ladder rungs attached to the outside. Enchanted with my discovery, proceed to throw rocks and grass and stuff through the grate. From down below, hello? Voice is quiet, clearly female, and clearly English. Jump, but otherwise think nothing of the situation, as children are wont to do. Me, hi, the well. It's nice to see you. What's your name? Tell the voice my name and return the question. The voice responds with a name that I can never remember. The well. It's really nice to meet you, Anon. I never get to see anyone anymore. Me. Why? The well. I'm stuck. Me. How come? The well. I fell here a long time ago. I think someone might have pushed me. Start to notice a sloshing sound at the bottom of the well. Not tall enough to see over the edge, but it sounds quite far from the bottom. Me. Okay, I'll go tell my mommy, and we can help you come out. Sloshing stops. The well. No, please, don't go away. I'm scared. It's hard for me to stay here. I try to ask why she's scared a couple of times. Can't remember getting a straight answer. Instead, I like you. Do you like me? I say that I do, but start to get nervous, childhood notwithstanding. The well, it's dark and lonely down here, but it doesn't ever change. There are places we can go. We can make things. Scared but curious, begin to clamber up the iron rungs to see over the edge of the well. The well. I've been lonely for a long time. You can help me. My eyes clear the edge of the well in time to see the metal grate slowly swing open on its own accord, hinges squeaking. Nope. Fell off the well, tearing off across the ruins looking for mommy. Behind me, splashing, metal squeaking, screaming. No, nope.